welcome back to Cityline on this Thanksgiving morning. With me, I have somebody who I bet you if we could compare DNA, somewhere our families are related. I'm talking about Mary Michael Stump from the Washington State History Museum is here to talk about some of the exhibits they have, and she is the Director of Exhibitions and Programs. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and to all of you.
Yes, okay, so tell me, what is your most favorite thing about Thanksgiving, you Southern Belle?
You know, I think the thing that I love the most about Thanksgiving is that it doesn't require a costume and it doesn't require gift giving.
Yes.
It's really the launch to the holiday season, and it's just so much about love and family and food and repeat all of that. That I just, you know, I think you were saying it's real pure, and I think that's a good word for it.
There's no agendas. It's just good food and family, love and laughter.
Right.
And great stories of the past Thanksgivings and what went on.
Exactly.
I love that.
And honestly, you know, in our most recent and current thinking, we're really thinking about not Thanksgiving as an event, because we need to think about our Native American sovereign nations that
absolutely
that we have the honor to live
on their land.
But really just the day of giving thanks for family, and that
gratitude.
really,
Lots of gratitude. I have lots of things to be grateful for this year, and I know that you do as well.
Yes.
So the Washington State History Museum is having a busy fall with new exhibitions. Can you tell me about each of them from a 10,000 feet looking down, and then we'll get some details.
Sure. So we have a large exhibition that's taking place in all three of our larger temporary galleries called the Animation Academy, From Pencils to Pixels.
Wow.
And it really is about the evolution and history of animation as a thing, from you know, when pictures first started moving to CGI and 3D printing. And then we have a companion exhibition called Fine Lines, which is comprised of political cartoons and drawings from the Washington State Historical Society collections.
Okay.
Many of these which have never been seen before. They've just been, you know, in our research center being protected, and we have a wonderful new head of collections who agreed to let us have them on view for the public. And then in our collection selections gallery, we have some ceramics by a former UPS faculty member and internationally renowned ceramicist named Ken Stevens, who died within the past year, and that collection has been donated to us, and we are so honored to have it. So we are doing a little preview with that.
Oh, I love that. What a wonderful thing to do in his memory. The Animation Academy, From Pencils to Pixels, which, boy, I love that title, brings to mind those beloved Saturday or Sunday morning cartoons. But the exhibit is more than just cartoons. What else will visitors learn?
So not only will you learn about what went first and then what came later, you'll see drawn cells from Chuck Jones' studio.
Oh,
You'll
love him.
actually see objects from Chuck Jones' studio. There's kind of a vignette that has his hat, his desk, other things like that. There's you'll learn about stop motion. You'll learn about what a zoetrope is.
What is a zoetrope?
Well, you know what? We have the world's largest 3D traveling zoetrope. Now that's a very specific thing, but a zoetrope is first happened in around 1833, and it's I know you've seen it. It's kind of a circular thing that has traditionally images where the image changes slightly and then it starts going around and it looks animated. Well, this is a 3D zoetrope. So these are figurines, and they're each doing a little bit thing. And so when it turns on, there's kind of a flashing light, and it goes around and around, and these things come to life. These 3D things are animated, and it really shows it was the precursor of stop motion graphics.
which is just, it's fascinating. I mean, I know that your mom is still with us. If we had your mom on the couch and we were to talk with her about pencils to pixels, she would remember the pencil part. And she'd be amazed, like I am, how far we've come into those pixels. I mean, it's unbelievable the strides we've made. Fine Lines, I love the title also of this one. Tell me more about it, because this exhibit features original cartoons. How old are these cartoons?
You know, they span almost a century, or actually a little over a century. The earliest political cartoon we have is from 1905, and we have another one that depicted a series called The Umbrella Man from Seattle from 1910. The Umbrella Man is actually, there was a real live guy in Seattle that wore a hat that looked like an umbrella, and Doc Hager, his real name was John Hager, but he started drawing these Umbrella Man cartoons.
There he is.
Depicting him doing a variety of things and sort of commenting on things that were happening within the Seattle community at the time.
Oh, look at that. And of course, Umbrella Man is there because it rains all the time. Exactly. So it's interesting, as I was looking at some of the stills of the cartoons and thinking about the kind of cartoons I like. The jokes on those cartoons, they are not Sunday morning funny cartoon jokes. What kind of jokes are they?
Well, you know, it's more social commentary, editorial cartoons. Like we were talking about the New Yorker cartoons, and we both love them so much. This is, you know, a similar thing. I mean, there's a fine line between humor and truth, right? And that's where satire is. And so these are really public commentary, social commentary that are satirical in nature, and they're still very resonant today. I mean, sadly.
Thank you. Everything repeats, doesn't it? It really does. And we can learn so much from those cartoons in terms of what was going on politically during that time. It's surprising to me that Washington State has turned out so many cartoonists. I mean, we are rich when it comes to authors. We are great when it comes to musicians and poetry. Who are some of the artists that are featured in this exhibition?
Well, so there's a very well-known syndicated editorial political cartoonist named David Horsey, who did cartoons for the Seattle Post-Intelligencer for many years.
The old PI.
Right, and he's back actually, but and I mean, he's won a Pulitzer Prize. He's the real deal.
Wow.
Brian Bassett, who did a cartoon by the name of Adam. T. Lewis, who draws, still to this day, draws Over the Hedge. We have some other references, not original works, by Linda Berry, who is an amazing, well, just author in general, but visual communicator. And then, of course, we do reference, we don't have any original works from Gary Larson, but he's, you know, the Far Side.
Exactly.
Right. Gary Larson, if you're out there, we need your work in our collection.
Hello, yes,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right, we do. Tell me more about Ken Stevens and the ceramics exhibition, and particularly, who was Ken Stevens?
Ken Stevens, like I said, he was a faculty member at UPS. Interestingly enough, before he became a ceramicist, he was a chemistry faculty member at Harvey Mudd College in California, and he met his wife in a ceramics class, and really his kind of, that took off. His love of chemistry and his knowledge of chemistry really did inform not only the forms themselves and how they were made, but the glazes that he was able to get on this. And so he was really, I mean, he was internationally known. He did a fellowship in Japan, and there was a lot of cross-cultural trade happening with UPS and Japan.
Wow, I love that. How did Ken Stevens influence ceramic arts in the Pacific Northwest? Because he kind of was like the Frank Toby of ceramics, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, not only was he a wonderful artist, he was an incredible and gifted teacher.
Yes.
And so his legacy really was passing that knowledge on to those students at UPS who went, Fumiko Kimura, Reed Okazaki, those are the two of the artists who are probably the best. I'm not, sorry, Reed Ozaki. I have a friend, Joy Okazaki, and so I always tend to conflate that. But I want to make sure that I get that name right. But really, the knowledge and love of making was his lasting gift.
His legacy. Nothing says the holidays like model trains. You have a minute and 30 seconds left to tell us what we need to know to come see the train.
Oh my gosh, the museum will be teeming with model trains of all scales, and we'll have also an added feature this year. We'll have train videos running in our auditorium for just a place to kind of decompress a little bit from the noise. But also all the exhibitions that we've mentioned here will be open at the same time during Model Train Festival. So Animation Academy, where there's so much hands-on stuff for kids and adults to do too. You can make your own stop motion graphics. It's literally the world's largest activity room. So
oh my gosh.
As those little visitors who always want to be able to touch things, as they start to have that level of frustration, you just go into Animation Academy, grab a pencil and start drawing, or grab a Gumby and make a stop motion graphic. And you know, really, it's going to be such a fun time.
You have made the holidays so much brighter and so much more fun for us this year with these exhibits. I mean, I can't wait for my wife and I to get down there and start like playing around with the pencils and everything else.
Oh my gosh, I want to see that.
We'll let you know we're coming.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary Michael Stump, for taking time out of your Thanksgiving for being here. It is so good to see you.
Well, I'm thankful for you.
And I'm thankful for you, Sugar Pie, right back. And give my love to you and yours.
All right. Same to you.
Thank you. When we come back, Kareem Candy will be here, not with the World Orchestra, but he will be here talking about how you can catch him during the holidays. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.